Hi, Mike. Thank you so much for joining me here at the AP Arms. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Hannah. How about yourself? It's a beautiful day here in Kentucky.
Oh, amazing. I'm good, thank you, but it's less beautiful here in London. It's a bit dreary, truth be told. Mike, I think it would be good to start with a few introductions. So I'm Hannah. I'm a customer success manager here at Zelix, and I have the pleasure of working with yourself. Mike, would you mind just introducing who you are?
Yep, my name is Mike Daugherty. I am the senior manager of accounts payable for the EW Scripps company. Um, a little bit about myself is that in a former career, I've run my own business that was a family business, and then have done many things in the AP field between then and now.
Fantastic. I didn't know you had your own business before, Mike, so I learn something new every day.
It was a business that dealt with firefighters, EMTs, and paramedics.
Oh, amazing. I know I've seen on your wall in the past a couple of firefighters' helmets in the background, so it makes sense now. So Mike, as we're at the AP Arms today, it's only fitting that I ask you about your favorite pub or pub experience. Do you have anything here to share?
So one of the things that I like to do is I have a bar in my basement that has a few bottles of bourbon there. Bourbon is a very Kentucky thing. About 90% of the bourbon in the world is made in Kentucky, so it's only fitting that I have bourbon at my bar, and
Wow.
to sit with friends and maybe watch a sporting event or that, and sip a nice bourbon.
Oh, fantastic. Mike, we should have actually really done this conversation in your bar downstairs. So next time we'll make sure we do that.
That sounds great. I've always got a seat for you.
Perfect, thanks. So, Mike, you mentioned there you work for EW Scripps. Would you mind just sharing a little bit of background on your company and your current AP finance setup?
So EW Scripps, we are a media company. We have 61 stations in 41 U.S. markets. So we uh, broadcast all the major networks: ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox across our stations. We also have a digital side um, that has some stations on it, and other TV stations and that. So we have Ion, which right now is doing WNBA and women's Major League Soccer, or football, as you might call it. Um, we have Court TV, and we have other, and those are both on a linear and a digital platform that people can watch both ways. Wherever they can get a signal, they can watch Scripps.
They can watch. Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, working with some of the biggest broadcasting companies in the world there.
Exactly.
And in
Our current
terms of
day.
your, I was just going to ask, in terms of your current AP setup, what does that look like?
So when I started with Scripps, it was offshore, dealt with a third party, and they would send us a daily upload files, and they really did everything offshore. Shortly after I came, the process had already been started before I came. We switched to Workday for our ERP and brought back in-house the processing of invoices and everything that was done offshore. We
Yeah.
had two people on our stateside team, and we still only have two people on our stateside team, and that's due to automation, and
Yeah.
what we can do, and what we when we brought it back, how we kept the idea of let's keep this automated. Um, so we are extremely automated in what we do.
Okay. Well, then let me ask you this. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, for small AP teams like yourself, how valuable is automation within accounts payable?
To me, automation is everything to our success. We process 4 to 5 thousand invoices a week with a team of myself and two specialists, and we really look for just the outliers, things that the automation caught that might have an issue that we need to get involved with.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the automation that we have, we would need a much larger team.
Okay, that's really interesting. So, I know from previous conversations, and you just mentioned that Scripps have really been on an automation journey. And you just mentioned this actually started around 6 years ago when the business decided to bring their AP function back in-house. So, would you mind just telling me a little bit more about that process? So, kind of what that used to look like, and actually the reasons for wanting to bring AP back in-house.
So the reason was, like I said, decided before me, but it was for control. The company that we used offshore was very rigid in what they did, and if it wasn't perfect, it aired out. So it was actually creating a little more work than we should have had. By bringing it back in house, we still utilize the same process. So all of our invoices are emailed in. They are OCR'd by a third party that matches our invoice numbers and dates and amounts and lines against our POs. We send files to them daily. That company then matches everything systemically using AI, then sends it to Workday for us to pay. Then on top of that, for duplicate detection, we added on the Zelix product that then goes to make sure that they have caught all the duplicates, and we catch duplicates this way, especially our front end bolt-on doesn't have AI that will determine if two invoices were sent in and OCR read one is a 0 and one is the letter O. They don't
Yeah.
detect that as duplicates, where the Zelix product will go and detect that and save us. So we catch the majority, if not all, of our duplicates on the front end, instead of having to do a audit 2 years later and try to recoup the money that we paid out that we shouldn't have.
Okay, so that's interesting. So just so I understand the timeline of events, historically was outsourced. Then the company decided to move this process in-house, mainly for control reasons. So it's really to give the AP team more oversight over what's going on and allow them to act proactively in order to catch potential duplicates.
That's correct. And we have partnered with our bolt-on applications. We've partnered very strongly with them, both with the Zelix product and with our other OCR product. And we feel that having a good communication back and forth helps them grow their products and helps
Yeah.
them make a better product, which is going to make us a better payor.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that's really key to us here at Xerlix. We ask our customers all the time for feedback because ultimately we want to build a product that's useful to the people using them. So, um, so my current state then, you were outsourced, you then brought that back in, and within your current state, you mentioned there that you have a big role of automation. So just to be quite clear then around the role, what are the two ways that you have automation within your accounts payable team?
So the automation, it works in two steps. One is the invoices come into a mailbox that is managed by our OCR company. They pull out all the information that they need with invoice numbers and such. Then they import it into Workday.
Yep.
Then your automation, your AI from Zelix will then go and look at that information that has been brought in, confirm no duplicates, or if it does, it brings it out to us for us to work. And again, it helps us to work just the exceptions instead of
Yep.
having to have someone to be there to input everyone. When you have manual entry, there's more chance for errors. Again, that 0 that I talked about earlier can happen easier, where with the AI that we're using, it really does help us to make our process as error-free as possible.
Absolutely. And particularly, as you say, they're just looking at the exceptions, which I think is probably quite necessary, particularly when you have such a small team. So you can't probably cover everything, but at least you know where to direct your time then, which I think is pretty smart.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's key.
Yeah, for sure. So, Mike, that's amazing to hear you have such robust processes in AP and also that you recognize the benefits of automation. So, from what you've said, it's been pretty good advice for AP managers who are a little bit earlier in their automation journey than you are. So I think some good pointers here. What does it look like, though, for the future of Scripps? So we know that AP teams moves fast. So yeah, keen to understand where you are going to go on this automation journey.
So ideally, we just look to better the processes that we have by working with those third parties that we deal with. We went through quite a selection process to join up and partner with these companies. We want to help them improve their product, which will in turn help us improve ours to our customers and be that internal customers or external customers.
For
With
sure.
automation is always changing. And to me, it's a field that you really have to wrap your arms around if you want to have a productive AP team or even AR and the more that we can do with AI to even and we're not there yet, but one of the things that we've looked at is statement reconciliation. We've looked at automated email responses to where someone can manage an email box for us and respond out um, with answers. Currently, we haven't felt the need to go down that route, but it is something that we've looked into. So we're always looking for new ideas.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, that's great to hear that you're kind of curious, you're staying up to date with what's happening in the market because it is a really fast pace environment to be in. So thanks so much for sharing that with me. I think that's been really useful and offers some great tips there. So the next section is going to share my screen with you, and there's two pictures here. Can you see those okay?
I can.
Great. It'll be really fab if you could just caption these, so be one or maybe both, with something that's relatable to you.
um, so the one with the cat hits me as oh my gosh, we need to find a better way. and
Okay.
and the monkey, um, I think of that as um, what's the better way? It's kind of I look at those together and say the oh wow and the let's consider this. Keeping that open
Okay.
mind. I'm not great at captioning things, quite honestly.
I know I like that. I haven't seen anyone link the two together, so I think that's pretty clever. Very nice. Um, okay. So really that brings us to the end of our conversation, Mike. How was your experience at the AP Arms today?
It was fantastic. The conversation was great. The beverages were fantastic. It's a little early here in the States, but I'm on London time with you, so
Yep.
I can have a beverage as my day ends.
Of course you can. There's such thing as like an Irish coffee. Is there an equivalent for a coffee with bourbon?
Um, so there's a bourbon cream that's made here, which is similar. You might know it as Bailey's, is
Oh,
the one
yes.
that's so there's bourbon cream that's made here that is very enjoyable in coffee. Not sure what it's
Fantastic.
called. I call it delicious.
Bourbon, yeah, delicious is a better option for sure. Great. Well, thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate you giving me some time today, and I hope to see you back soon at the AP Arms.
I look forward to it. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.